Are you somebody that actually struggles with both ADHD and dyslexia? Well, I have, and I do, and I want to talk to you guys today about what I do as far as with my dyslexia and ADHD and how I've been able to overcome these challenges. So let's go ahead and get started right after this intro. Welcome back, my Optimal Mind performers and my Optimal Mind leaders. Thank you for coming back. But if you are new here and want to know everything about how to get Optimal Mind performance as far as just ADHD health, other mental health tips as tricks, as well as different strategies for personal development, entrepreneurship, as well as just other life skills when it comes to the mind, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on any other future videos. My name is Dr. LeGrand and I grew up with ADHD and dyslexia. I treat patients with ADHD. But my focus for today is to talk about my challenges that I had struggling with ADHD and dyslexia. So going back as a kid, definitely having dyslexia was very obvious because I would see things backwards. I had a very hard time reading, writing. I would write things in backwards. That's typical with people with dyslexia, but also reading comprehension becomes a big issue. And this was a big challenge for me because I couldn't learn how to read. I didn't learn how to read until I was 8 years old, coming close to 9 years old. In fact, I had younger siblings that could read before I was. That was really embarrassing that I couldn't learn how to read and write because of the dyslexia, but also having ADHD, which didn't help with the attention part and focusing and other challenges that come with ADHD. So that was a big struggle right there. Because I had dyslexia and I couldn't focus, I thought, what's the point of trying to learn how to read and write if I can't even see the words properly? I can't focus, so what's even the point? But what was even worse is that I just felt dumb, that I didn't feel like I was smart enough. I was just dumb because I had these challenges and I would give up trying to learn how to read and write, and I would just give up easily. But my mom, bless her heart, she kept on trying to actually help me try to learn how to read and write. As much of a challenge as it was, no matter how much I tried, I seemed to really struggle with trying to read and write. And this was an issue for both myself and my mom to try to teach me how to read and write because of both my dyslexia and ADHD. But my mom came across different new creative ideas for helping me how to actually learn my letters, learn how to actually not see them, to be able to flip them back by using more physical and creative ways of learning. In fact, I do have one of the things that she used a lot for me, which I think if you guys can kind of see this is very old, but what the idea behind this is using physical things. So you have like a picture right here, and this is a fire, and you spell it out. So physically, I was able to, grab things to be able to spell things out as you're kind of placing them in, spelling the word that you can actually be able to see and actually have these grooves, which really helped for people who have dyslexia, and it really helped me significantly to be able to know how to spell things out, see things in the right way. And she even had things on like sandpaper where I can actually feel how to actually write them and see them. It was more ingrained and more in depth for me to be able to understand these concepts, which helped me significantly to be able to kind of get over that hump with my dyslexia. And then of course it made it very creative and fun to be able to do these types of activities, which can be really a challenge for people with ADHD, not focusing and losing interest. So this helped pique my interest more because it was more of a game. And so this really kind of helped me get over that hump of trying to learn how to read, write, and spell things correctly versus spelling them in backwards. But this it still is a challenge. I mean, every once in a while I'll see a billboard or sign and I'll read it out loud and the middle letters will mix. And I get made fun of this all the time where I'll read something way out loud on a billboard and they're like, that's not what it says. And it has to do with some of the challenges that do come with dyslexia. But I've learned how with speed reading, that actually really has helped me significantly, that by using speed reading, I usually can kind of pick up an idea of usually those middle letters usually do jumble, but you can kind of, if you know the beginning and the end, and that's how you're able to speed read. That's a speed reading technique. But the conflicts that I did have is within the classroom to be able to focus, but also to comprehend things, which can be a challenge with people with dyslexia. But I learned things, as well as my mom was trying to find new creative ideas as we were kind of going through this. But I also was doing things on my own, learning how the brain worked, learning how people learn and memorize things, learning how people can speed read. So I used all these different tactics to be able to improve in the classroom setting in school so I can actually get to a point, because I did have a desire to become a doctor and I knew that was going to be a challenge because of these challenges I had. And And because I worked at it, even throughout college, I got better and better. And then I got into medical school and got better at it, even though it was still challenging, but I got improved because I was using these tactics to be able to learn strategies that helped me more creative way. And because of it, I did become a doctor. I am a doctor. Like I said, I treat patients with ADHD. I own my own family practice, which is awesome and a huge, big achievement for me. But you can do this yourself. If you are struggling with ADHD or dyslexia, or if you're a parent that has a child with ADHD and dyslexia, it is still possible. You shouldn't give up. As long as you just try to look for creative ways to be able to implement, this really can make a big difference. But the big, huge transformation for me to be able to understand this is that no matter what, even though looking back as a child, how challenging that was, and going through not just as a child, but also going through high school and college and medical school, is looking back that it is possible as long as you kind of find new creative ways of learning things. Because the typical standard way of learning doesn't fit for everybody, especially for people with dyslexia and ADHD. As many challenges as it does have, that there is definitely creative options out there, probably far more than what I got the opportunity to, because now, the options are limitless as far as what you can do for learning new creative ways. And that can be very helpful. You just got to find those. But I hope this brought you value and brought you some hope of challenges when it comes to ADHD as well as having dyslexia. But if you want some more, tips as far as when it comes to ADHD that can help with that, as far as what supplements, nutrients, and labs to run for ADHD, you can download my free guide in the description below. One for, parents who have kids with ADHD as well as adults who have ADHD. I have both those guides in the description below. So until next time, this is Dr. Grand signing out. And remember, you have an optimal mind. Thanks. Bye.